Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
The biggest sale of the year is happening right now during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda. For a limited time, make no payments for 90 days on every new Honda. That's right, you choose and make no payments for 90 days at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hello and welcome as we start the Tuesday post-MLK Day edition of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping all is well with you and yours and your little slice of South Louisiana heaven since the last opportunity we had at the end of last week to spend a little time with you and yours. We start today's show as we normally do, with Louisiana news, and news out of Kenner, Louisiana. The Kenner Police Department announcing the arrest of a mother whose 20-month-old was recently found unconscious at home, not breathing, and dying after a fentanyl overdose. Investigators, after going back and what's the word I'm looking for? Analyzing the scene, found traces of fentanyl in the child's nose. They found small amounts of what appeared to be fentanyl, cocaine, and other narcotics in the room where the child and mother both slept. Quote, a toxicology report provided to detectives Thursday showed the child had enough fentanyl in their system to kill an adult. Based on the easily accessible location where the drug residue was located, the child could have easily touched that. We believe that's possibly what happened, but we can't make an exact determination at this time. The mother, meanwhile, booked on charges of second-degree murder, second-degree cruelty to juveniles, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of a Schedule I controlled dangerous substance, in this case, heroin. By the way, fentanyl overdoses is now one of, if not the leading cause of death in America for children 14 years of age and younger. I will leave to you to decide what that says about our society. Meanwhile, in Slidell, law enforcement there reporting what is believed to be, at this time, the largest drug bust in the history of the city of Slidell. More than 50 pounds of crystal meth was confiscated by the St. Tammany Parish law enforcement officers as a result. This 52.2 pounds of methamphetamine had a street value of more than $1.5 million. Fentanyl, MDMA, marijuana, crack cocaine, and 3 firearms also seized from that home. Investigators working with the DEA, believed that the meth was smuggled across the United States-Mexico border and into Louisiana. Imagine, I know it's hard to comprehend, fentanyl, methamphetamine, heroin coming across our southern border. Marty says, say it ain't so. How could that possibly be? And yet, our government continues to drag its feet, if not outright facilitate, this invasion of our southern border. I mentioned to you that in recent memory, fentanyl overdoses has become one of the leading causes of death for American children 14 years of age and younger. When are we going to demand better from the federal government? People are dying in record numbers. Last year, over 107,000 of our fellow Americans died from fentanyl. And yet, our government will tell us, well, the border's not open. When are we going to get sick and tired of being sick and tired? Of course, now there are many of you watching right now that voted for this clown show of an administration. And what's the old adage? You get the government that you vote for. I'll let that sink in. Meanwhile, speaking of voting and the government that you get, as you might imagine, in recent memory, and the trend continues as of late, more and more people in our state deciding whether or not they will run to be the next chief executive officer, governor of our state. Recently, the most recent, State Senator Sharon Hewitt announcing she is entering the governor's race. As you are probably already aware, State Treasurer John Schroeder, Attorney General Jeff Landry, both Republicans, announcing their intention to run. By the way, State Senator Sharon Hewitt is a Republican as well. She issued a statement that reads as follows: Louisiana politics is famous for big characters who talk a big game, but it isn't the talkers who make things happen. It's the doers. So when I was elected to the state Senate in 2015, I decided to do things differently. Instead of being the loudest voice in the room, I listened. I let the politicians run their mouths. I ran the numbers. On the Senate Finance Committee, I worked to hold the line on taxes and spending, opposed the frivolous lawsuits draining your economy, and I led the way on STEM education to prepare Louisianians for the good-paying jobs of the future. I fought against the radical left and worked for family values, personal responsibility, smaller government, and greater freedom every step of the way. Doers don't ask a lot of government. We just want lower taxes, good schools, safe communities, and the chance to work hard and make life better. The talkers have had their day. It's time for a governor who will get things done. That's why I'm running, to lead this great state that I love. As your governor, I'll put my business experience to work, growing our economy, cutting taxes, and creating more opportunities across Louisiana. I'll work to improve education so that every child has the opportunity to succeed. I'll reject the anti-police, soft-on-crime policies that undermine law and order, and I'll fight to end Joe Biden's war on oil and gas so we can ensure that Louisiana is a leader in energy production for years to come. I would imagine that State Senator Hewitt is not going to be the last individual to throw a hat into the ring. Conventional wisdom says the next one is going to be a very crowded field of candidates. It's a job that, if you run in political circles, you know is a popular one. It's a job that hopefully we will elect the best person for this time around. As you well know, this is no earth-shaking revelation here. The state of Louisiana has and continues to face many challenges. And diversity, equity, and inclusion aside, we need the best person for the job. If you're like me, you don't care what the person's gender is. Only 2 of them, by the way. If you're like me, you don't care about the color of the person's skin. You want the best person for the job. End of discussion. Now, only time will tell if that's what we end up with. Hopefully, every single Louisianian will pay serious attention to the upcoming gubernatorial election, and we will end up with the best person for the job. Hopefully, the number of Louisianians that in the past have voted strictly along party lines, racial lines, sexual orientation lines, gender lines, hopefully these people will wake up and come to their senses. We are approaching a point in our state's history where if we don't correct certain things, it may be generations before we're able to do that. And quite frankly, I am one of those that's of the opinion those that come after us deserve much better. But hey, that's just me. We are heading into the first break of the Tuesday post-MLK Day edition of the Clarence Bug Show. And of course, you know what that means, right? Now, if by chance you're new, you're saying, Clarence, I have no clue what that means. We've got a new segment that we've instituted in direct response to the level of stupidity in our country and around the world. It is entitled, now that's just stupid, but it's a little bit of a caveat. Not your ordinary, everyday stupid. We're talking a whole different level here. First break of today's show. We'll get her done, come back, and talk more with you right where you've got it on the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Hey everybody, I'm Kevin Gallagher. This is Roy Fletcher. We hope you'll join us for Fletch Nation, especially if you like talking politics.
Hey, come and join us. We'll give you the information, and then we'll give you the context. And by the way, we'll give you fun too.
Lots of fun. We hit the local races, the state. We even look at what's going on all across America. And by the way, this space is available. If you'd like to talk about advertising, send your emails to royfletcher at royfletcher.com and join us every week here on the Pelican for Fletch Nation.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
The season of inspiration is the perfect time to discover the enhanced Mazda CX-5, named a 2022 IIHS Safety Pick Plus Award winner, its highest safety award honor. Choose from over 45 CX-5s available at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi, gang. Clarence Bugs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Bugs Show.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Welcome back to the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bugs Show. I mentioned heading into the previous commercial break that it is Tuesday, second segment, and of course you know that means it's time for another illustrious edition of, now that's just stupid, but you'll notice the spelling is not your ordinary, everyday, what you've become accustomed to, STUPID. The graphic on screen shows you the level of stupid that we're talking about here requires its own spelling. Hence, STOOPID, as in, now that's just stupid. We start with something that was near and dear to me as a kid growing up. Show of hands, how many of y'all were comic book fans? That's what I thought. It was part of Americana. It was prior to the age of movies and the like, where we engage in escapism with our superhero friends. Well, the latest edition of Batman from DC Comics, if you know anything about comic books and you were like me, a baby boomer, you know that growing up there was Marvel and there was DC Comics. DC's most notable character was Batman. Arguably his greatest nemesis, Batman's greatest nemesis, was the Joker. Everybody knows about the Joker. Well, in the latest DC Comics edition of Batman, the Joker becomes pregnant and has a son. You heard me right. Stupid. But wait, it gets better. In today's LGBTQ, LMNOP, BMW, XYZ, you would naturally think, oh, they've gone transgender. No, leave it to DC Comics to find a different route to get to this. I can't call it what I want to call it because this is a family show and there might be kids watching. But one of the words, well, actually, it's got a B at the beginning and an S in the middle and a T at the end. You figure it out. In this edition, the Joker finds some evil entity, at least they got that part right, that can cast a spell and make anybody pregnant. So the Joker, dabbling around with this spell, becomes pregnant, throws up a brown blob, which then magically morphs into a child, and it's his handsome son. As Marty would say, what they do. Something as simple, something as treasured as a comic book. Leave it to the left to screw that up too. Speaking of stupid, I would put this under the category of Florida man, but I think it goes a lot deeper than that. Yesterday, as I mentioned, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, all across America. People getting together, celebrating his legacy, getting together, reminiscing about the Reverend Dr. King's approach to social change. If you know anything at all about the man, you know his whole outlook was based on nonviolence. There are other ways in this great republic of ours to achieve social change. You don't go out burning, rioting, looting. Nonviolence was his whole approach to social change. So yesterday in St. Lucie County, Florida, I've been there, by the way, went there twice, 2 years as a matter of fact, with ESPN doing spring training for This Week in Baseball, TWIB as we call it. Gorgeous place. St. Louis County, over 1,000 people show up for the car show and family day honoring Martin Luther King Jr. You know what happened, right? Idiots pull out guns and start shooting. 8 people shot, 1 person in critical condition. Who goes to a family event celebrating non-violence and brings a gun? You know, if you're anything remotely resembling me, when you get ready to go somewhere, you have a mental checklist that you go through. Do I have my wallet? Yep, got it. Do I have my cell phone? Yep, got it. Do I have some cash in the wallet? Yep, got it. Do I have my car keys? Yep, got them. Do I have my gun? Oh, hold on, honey. Maybe it's just me, but I adopted the attitude and the practice a long time ago. If there is some place I'm going, and I have to be sure before I leave to go there that I have my gun, that's someplace I don't need to go. It ain't that hard to figure out. If where you are going, before you leave to go, you have to check, do I have my gun? That's someplace you don't need to go. Least of all, a rally for non-violence. Now, y'all can get mad at me if you want. I don't care. It ain't the first time. It won't be the last time. Of the 1,000 people at the MLK celebration, how many of you think were black? That's rhetorical. You don't have to answer. We all know the answer. But the left will tell you, the Democrats will tell you, the liberals will tell you, the progressives will tell you, it's them evil MAGA folk that black folk got to be worried about. How many conservative Republicans do you think were shooting at the MLK event? Just a question. Just a question. You got to have your gun to go to a rally celebrating non-violence? STOOPID. Stupid. Finally, the granola state, California. You already know the deal. Clarence, why you call it the granola state? Well, if you take out the fruits and the flakes, all you have left are the nuts. You'll figure it out later. A 17-year-old girl goes to her local YMCA for a workout. Gets a workout done, goes to take a shower. She's in the shower, and she looks up, and here's a naked man walking through the female shower area. So immediately, she's alarmed. She hides out until the guy leaves, and then she goes to report this to the management of the YMCA. They told her, "You the problem. You're a bigot." Excuse me? You're the problem. We have to be welcoming and inclusive to all who would use our facility. Oh, and did I mention her 5-year-old sister was there with her? Of course, now this is California, and they have passed a law where anybody can use any bathroom they want, as long as they identify as being with what's on the door. So if you and your 3-year-old daughter are in the women's restroom changing the diaper on your 1-year-old child, if I identify as a woman, I can walk right in, drop my pants, do what I got to do. And you ask why I call it the granola state? I'll tell you once again. Take out the fruits and the flakes, and all you have left are the nuts. In other words, STOOPID. Stupid. Let me get this break out of the way. When we come back, I'll entitle the upcoming segment, "When Are They Going to Learn You Can't Let This Man Speak?" That's next when we continue today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
You could be driving a...
Now's the time to save on new Accords during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana. Get our lowest prices and biggest savings on our largest selection of Accords this year. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana, I-49 just south of Opelousas.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Caught spiders?
Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Buck Show. If you're just tuning in, first of all, shame on you. Where have you been all morning? Second, I mentioned heading into the previous commercial break. This segment I'm entitling, When Will These People Learn? You can't let Joe speak. Trot him out somewhere. Let this guy start talking, and it's just a matter of time, very short time, mind you, before something's going to happen that leaves people just shaking their heads. Of course, now, since yesterday and the preceding weekend was the MLK holiday, you know Joe was going to be pandering to black folks. You knew it. Ironically, Raphael Warnock, congressman, now pastor of Ebenezer Baptist Church, who wouldn't be seen anywhere near Joe Biden leading up to the election, now all of a sudden has Joe Biden up in the pulpit. What could possibly go wrong? We'll start with, speaking of pandering to black folks, Democrats. Joe gets up in the pulpit and starts talking about Ketanji Brown Jackson, the woman he nominated to become the first black woman on the Supreme Court of the United States of America. In talking about Justice Jackson, he said, and I quote, "These are the words of Ketanji Drown Jackson." Bruh. You couldn't remember the woman's name? You nominated her. You nominated her to make history as the first black woman to sit on the highest court in the land. And you couldn't remember her name? You nominated her. Remember? The woman that you nominated that couldn't define what a woman is because she's not a biologist. Oh, but it gets better. It gets better. Speaking at a breakfast to honor MLK, sponsored by none other than the illustrious Al Sharpton, Joe Biden gets up, talking to the crowd, and says, I understand that one of the honorees here, Martin Luther King Jr. Martin III, forgive me, it's your wife's birthday. I kept expecting to see somebody run on stage from behind the curtain, touch him on the shoulder and say, Joe, stick to the script, bruh. Stick to the script. You let this guy, not that that would help because we've all seen he can't read a teleprompter either. So Joe says, my wife has a custom. When somebody has a birthday, we have to sing happy birthday to that person. You saw it coming a mile away. So Joe cranks up singing happy birthday to you. Gets to the line where it says, happy birthday, dear, insert person's name here. Joe says, happy birthday, dear Valley. Problem is, the woman's name is Andrea. Valley is nowhere near any name that belongs to this woman. So you kind of make up a name, I guess. You know, what the hell? It's the sentiment that counts. We're wishing you a happy birthday. Never thought to write the woman's name down. Just call her whatever. When are these people going to learn you can't let this man speak? God only knows what you're going to end up with. And there is no way on God's green earth you will ever convince me that the Democrats did not know before the election that this man is not all there. You can look in his eyes and see it. He's not all there. Now listen, y'all. Any of you, and I am included, who have had a family member dealing with Alzheimer's or dementia, you know the signs. You know it. You can see it as plain as day. And they conned you into voting for a guy that is completely compromised. When you have to send the freaking Easter Bunny to rescue this guy at the White House egg roll, he's walking around like, you know, what's next on the agenda? You got to send the freaking Easter Bunny to go and get the leader of the free world and bring him back to reality. But Orange Man bad. At least we don't have to put up with mean tweets anymore. Meanwhile, you can't make this stuff up. How long have we been telling you the mainstream media is simply another arm of the Democrat Party? All of these top secret classified documents popping up all over the place. So how did this happen? Well, this weekend, Joy Behar of The View and a member of Congress, Democrat, Hank Johnson, both came out and said, I think those documents were planted by Republicans. So let me get this straight. Republicans broke into the White House when Joe Biden was vice president. Remember now, some of these documents are at least 6 years old. Okay? So if I am to believe Joy Behar and Congressman Johnson, the Republicans 6 years ago broke into the White House, stole top secret documents, and sat on them for 6 years. Apparently, they knew, if you believe these two clowns, apparently 6 years ago, they knew Joe Biden's going to be president. We need to get something that we can hold over him. So they kept them, apparently, for 6 years after breaking into the White House to steal them. Then they broke into Joe Biden's home and planted them. Of course, they also broke into his office at the Penn Biden Center and planted some there. Oh, of course, it all makes perfect sense. You do realize, do you not, the Penn Biden Center, where this first batch of top secret classified documents were found, it didn't open for a full year until after he left office. Did you catch that? So the documents, which by law he was not allowed to possess, only a president can do that. It's a felony for any government official other than a president to remove classified documents. So he took them out, put them God knows where, because until we just found them in the Penn Biden Center, they weren't open for a full year after he was vice president. So he took them, put them God knows where for a whole year, then wherever they were, took them from there and transported them to the Penn Biden Center. And this, my friends, is the most transparent administration in history. Technically, I guess they're right, because we can see right through you, bruh. We can see clean through you. The most transparent administration in history. Now, Congressman Johnson and Joy Behar are of the opinion Republicans stole them documents and planted them on Joe Biden. If that were the case, why would they hold the documents until after the midterm elections? Conventional wisdom would say you would want to release them before the most recent election, hoping people won't vote Democrat. But instead, 6 years ago, you stole the documents, you sat on them for 6 years, and you only released them after the midterm elections. If you believe that, my friends, Marty and I have a beachfront, mountaintop chalet in Bruley, Louisiana, that we'll let you have real cheap. Final break of today's show. When we come back, if you thought something was rotten in Denmark, you apparently hadn't smelled the air recently. We'll talk about that when we come back and wrap up today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats. The flavor says it all.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystonCountryClub.com.
Tremonti's has meat, Tremonti's has seafood, Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters, huge wine and liquor selection, beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats, ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs, 20 flavors of sausage for the grill, daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. And health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back for the final segment of the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. We, in recent memory, and I guess it wouldn't be so bad if the current administration, the Biden-Harris administration, had not made it known to every single living human being that their intention was to be, quote, the most transparent administration in history. Now we find out that there are classified, top secret documents all over the place. In his garage, in his library, in his old office, and we still don't know if that's all of them. Recently, we have been hearkening back to my grade school days when we studied Shakespeare, and we often refer to the famous line, often quoted line, something's rotten in Denmark. Well, in this case, something's rotten in D.C., or something's rotten in Delaware. This weekend, it came to light a form that Hunter Biden filled out for a background check for a contract his company was trying to obtain. On this form, it asks where have you rented over the last year? He put down the address in Delaware where these classified documents were found. And in the space where they ask, how much were you paying in rent? $49,000, wait for it, a month. On the same form, mind you, he also listed himself as the owner of the home. Then came the uh-oh part. Hunter Biden, on this form, says he paid his father, Joe Biden, $49,000 a month in rent. But on Joe Biden's tax returns for that year, where the IRS asks, how much rental income did you receive over the last year? He wrote in $19,000. So on one hand, your son says he paid you $49,000 a month in rent, and you claim on your tax return $19,000. Now, I make no bones about it, y'all. I went to public school, but I had some good math teachers. I had some really good teachers of mathematics. And I know for a fact, $49,000 a month in rent for an entire year adds up to a whole lot more than $19,000. $588,000. But Joe's tax return says, I only got 19 grand. I don't know what this other fool talking about. I got 19,000. Then we find out that some of these top secret documents have to do with Ukraine. Wait, isn't that the same place where Burisma, the energy company, paid Joe Biden's son $83,000 a month, even though he had this much experience working in the energy sector? Oh, that's right. It's also the same country where Joe Biden threatened to the tune of $1 billion. You will not get this $1 billion from the United States government unless and until you fire this investigator that's looking into corruption in Ukraine. Something is rotten in Delaware. You figure it out. You don't have to be the brightest bulb in the chandelier, y'all. What did our parents teach us many years ago? If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, has a bill like a duck, and feathers like a duck, more than likely the damn thing's a duck. More than likely. Of course, now, if you listen to these clowns, it could be a chihuahua. It just identifies as being a duck. You see how you got played for being a sucker? You see how they played you? We're going to have the most transparent administration in history. Okay. Orange man bad. But at least we don't have to put up with those mean tweets anymore. You can now go to Twitter and don't have to worry about reading what Donald Trump wrote. A lot of y'all ain't got time for Twitter right now. You're too concerned about the crime in your neighborhood. You're too concerned about where can I find formula for my child. You're too concerned about the number of your fellow Americans dying from fentanyl overdoses. You're too concerned about the millions of people walking across our freaking border and setting up shop in this country illegally. You don't have time for Twitter anymore, do you? Well, some of y'all fools do. And we know in all likelihood who you voted for. I have said before, I will say again. If it was only you that was bearing the cost of your absolutely stupid decision to vote for this clown, that would be one thing. But we are talking about the ever rapidly increasing demise of the greatest country on the face of this planet. All because Orange man bad. Well, I ask you this. How's that working out for you? Just a question. Just a question. You bought in to that crap. And you went out and traded your most precious constitutional right for a bunch of garbage. Of course, now at the end of the day, there is validity to the old saying, you get the government that you vote for. Hopefully, the next time you get the opportunity to vote, you will remember what was on that plate that the Democrats / liberals / progressives sat on your table. Hopefully, you'll remember that the next time around. My time's up, y'all, and I gotta go. But you already know the drill. This day, maybe more so than any other day in history, I give it to you. You're right. America, we are not perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is, and God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you realize he loves you, right? And I hope you know, even if it's in the smallest of terms, that I do too. Best news you gonna get all day, son. There ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. Take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you soon. God bless.